Harold Finch woke up at exactly 6:42 a.m., just like he had every day for the past 17 years. His alarm clock did not ring because he preferred to wake up naturally. He believed alarms were too energetic for morning, and he liked his days to begin gently, quietly, and without any unnecessary disturbance. The first thing he did was sit on the edge of his bed and blink slowly 7 times. He always counted the blinks, 7, every morning. No more, no less. It helped him align his mind, as he liked to say, though no one had ever asked what that meant. After blinking, he stood up and walked to the bathroom. The walk took about 12 seconds. He knew that because once, in 2009, he had timed it with a stopwatch. Every time since, he had tried to match that exact duration. Sometimes he was a second faster, sometimes a second slower, but he always aimed for 12. Inside the bathroom, he brushed his teeth for exactly 3 minutes. He didn't use a fancy electric toothbrush, just a plain blue one with slightly worn-out bristle. He brushed in small circles, starting from the left side, upper row, working his way across, then down, then back again. Nothing unusual, nothing interesting, just brushing, exactly like the day before. At 7:03 a.m., he went to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. He placed 2 slices of bread in the toaster. His toaster had a mild clicking sound that he found oddly comforting. As the toast toasted, he watched the toaster closely. Many people walked around or did other tasks while waiting, but not Harold. He believed the toasting process deserved full attention. When the toast finally popped up, he nodded with slight satisfaction, the same small nod he did every single morning. He spread a thin layer of butter on both slices, not too much, not too little. Then he prepared a cup of warm water, not tea, not coffee, just warm water. Room temperature water was too indifferent, and hot water was too dramatic. Warm water was exactly right. He sat at the table and ate his toast in 12 small bites. He always finished the last bite at exactly 7:18 a.m. He didn't plan it, it just happened that way for years and years, and now it felt wrong to change. After breakfast, he washed the plate and cup immediately, because he disliked leaving dishes in the sink. It took him about a minute and a half, and he dried them with a towel that had tiny squares printed on it. The towel had lost its color long ago, but Harold didn't mind. He preferred things that looked a little faded. He said they felt honest. At 7:30 a.m., Harold put on his shoes. They were plain brown shoes with laces that always took him 3 attempts to tie. Not because he was clumsy, he simply tied them slowly. He stepped outside and locked the door. He checked the lock twice, not because he was forgetful, but because checking it once felt incomplete. Harold walked to the bus stop. It was a 5-minute walk, but he always left early so he could arrive at 7:42 a.m., even though the bus arrived at 8. He enjoyed standing quietly and watching absolutely nothing happen. Birds sometimes flew by, but Harold wasn't particularly interested in birds. Cars passed occasionally, but he didn't care for cars either. He liked the stillness of waiting. When the bus finally came, he climbed aboard and sat in the same seat every day, the 3rd seat from the front on the right side next to the window. He didn't look out the window, though. He stared straight ahead at the back of the driver's seat. For the next 14 minutes, he simply existed. No thoughts, no distractions, no observations, just sitting. At work, Harold was an archivist in a small office where almost nothing ever changed. He liked it that way. His job was to sort papers into labeled folders, then place those folders into cabinets. Some people found this repetitive or dull, but Harold found it calming. His co-worker, Mr. Lemons, walked by once and said, "Morning, Harold." Harold replied, "Good morning," in the same tone he had used every day for 7 years. It was neither cheerful nor unhappy, just perfectly neutral. For the next few hours, he organized paperwork. He sorted documents in alphabetical order, double-checked them, and placed them in the correct cabinet. Occasionally, he fixed a crooked label. He always made sure the corners of the papers were perfectly aligned. At 12 p.m., he had lunch. It was a cheese sandwich he brought from home. Mild cheese, 2 slices, nothing else inside. He ate it slowly, taking small bites. Then he drank more warm water. His co-worker, Linda, asked, "How's your day going, Harold?" He answered after a brief pause, "It is going." Linda nodded, even though she had no idea what that meant. After lunch, he returned to his papers. More sorting, more alignment, signing, more labeling. The office was so quiet that Harold could hear the faint hum of the overhead lights. He liked that sound. It was gentle and predictable. At 5 p.m., Harold stood up and took his coat and left the office with the same slow pace he always used. He walked to the bus stop and waited. Again, he arrived early, and again, nothing happened while he waited. And again, that was perfectly fine with him. After reaching home, he took off his shoes, placed them neatly near the door, and sat in his favorite chair. He didn't turn on the TV. He didn't read a book. He simply sat for 40 minutes. At 6:12 p.m., he reheated leftover boiled potatoes for dinner. He sprinkled a tiny bit of salt, not enough to make them flavorful, just enough to make them not completely plain. After eating, he washed the dish immediately. The towel with the faded squares was still hanging beside the sink. He dried the dish and placed it back in the cupboard. For the rest of the evening, he listened to the ticking of his wall clock. That was his entertainment. At 9 p.m., he went to bed. He blinked 7 times. Then he closed his eyes and waited for sleep, ready to repeat another perfectly ordinary, uneventful, and thoroughly boring day.